At the end of the day, America is going to want a president who is a decent human being, who doesn't shit on other people, who has some interest in the American people, some interest in something beyond himself. I think at the end of the day, people are going to reject this bigoted, divisive figure.
I'm just giving you the answer to the question you're asking all night long. Why do they vote for Donald Trump? It's not always because they like him. No. It's because stuff like that is kookier to them.
Bill Maher calmly dismantles Adam Schiff's talking points without shouting or chaos. Instead of emotional outrage, Maher sticks to logic, facts, and skepticism. He questions the constant Trump hysteria and exposes how Schiff relies more on repetition than proof. The calm delivery makes the criticism hit harder, leaving Schiff's credibility looking weak rather than powerful.
I think it's true justice. The only thing he cares about is himself and money, and going after the money is a way to bring about some real.
While Adam Schiff repeats familiar accusations, Bill Maher pauses and reframes the argument. He points out that endless investigations and dramatic claims haven't convinced everyday Americans. Maher doesn't praise Trump blindly, but he challenges the narrative that Trump is uniquely evil, exposing how overreach damages Democrats more than it hurts Trump.
I don't share your pessimism about this or your pessimism about the general election. The reason why Joe Biden is going to beat Donald Trump is because at the end of the day, America is going to want a president who is a decent human being, who doesn't shit on other people, who has some interest in the American people, some interest in something beyond himself. I think at the end of the day, people are going to reject this bigoted, divisive.
Maher highlights a key issue: credibility. He suggests Adam Schiff lost public trust by promising evidence that never fully materialized. Calmly, Maher explains that when politicians exaggerate, voters tune out. The moment isn't loud or theatrical. It's controlled, rational, and far more damaging than a shouting match.
I'm tired of seeing so much stuff targeted in his direction, but somehow, some way, he still survives. I mean, we're talking about a situation where he's still going to be the GOP nominee. He's still going to be running for president. You're President Biden. That's the individual that you're going to have to beat. 4 indictments, 91 counts. They ain't even bringing up the bankruptcies, ain't even bringing up this particular issue with this civil case, and somehow, some way, he puts cats to shame because he clearly has more than 9 lives. I mean, come on.
Instead of defending Trump personally, Bill Maher defends fairness. He argues that Trump critics like Adam Schiff often abandon balance, turning political opposition into obsession. Maher warns that when everything is treated as a scandal, nothing feels serious anymore. That calm observation undercuts Schiff's approach without needing insults.
Separating sports by sex doesn't make sense.
Right.
And talked about how we separate sports like the WNBA just because it's just socialization. This is insane.
I agree.
Okay. That's why people vote for Trump. Mm-hmm. Because there's stuff like that on the left that people just go, I know Trump's horrible, but separating by sports by sex makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. And if you think it doesn't, you can't lead the country.
Bill Maher questions why Adam Schiff became the face of certainty in a world full of unanswered questions. He points out that politics shouldn't be built on trust me claims. Maher's tone stays measured, but the message is sharp. Credibility matters more than confidence, and Schiff's confidence no longer convinces many viewers.
Schiff, given the ongoing political tensions and Trump's actions toward his critics, do you think President Biden's preemptive pardons turned out to be more important than initially expected? Let's first tell people what that means, preemptive pardons. That was pretty unprecedented, right? Before he left office, Joe Biden pardoned you and a number of people who he thought Trump would go after.
No, I take the opposite view. I don't think he should have given the pardons at all.
Really?
No, I don't think he should have, and I was vocal about that at the time.
Can you refuse a pardon?
That's less clear because in the case of the January 6th committee, he pardoned essentially the whole committee.
Maher calmly explains that Trump's survival isn't magic, it's backlash. He suggests figures like Adam Schiff helped fuel Trump by overplaying accusations. Rather than cheering Trump, Maher criticizes strategic failure. The calm logic flips the conversation, making Schiff look politically reckless instead of morally superior.
Judge. No, I haven't heard that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever read arrested a judge. So is this significant?
Well, I think
I'm not going to comment on something I don't know more about than what you've just told me.
You read about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I read about it, but I don't know.
So you don't trust anything either, and you work for the New York Times.
Well,
Adam Schiff's dramatic style is contrasted with Bill Maher's restraint. Maher argues that voters are exhausted by constant outrage. He implies that Schiff's tone represents everything Americans are tuning out. The quiet delivery lands hard, showing how calm skepticism can dismantle political theatrics more effectively than anger.
Are popular now, even with people who aren't Catholic, because it's the last place you can send your kid to get an old school education. And they just tell the kids, forget about the Jesus stuff. Just, to them, that's okay indoctrination, as opposed to some of the other indoctrination that goes on. And also, the Catholics don't put up with bullshit. They take your phone. You have to learn your P's and Q's and your grammar and all this kind of stuff. And that's what I just don't understand, that parents don't have the whip hand anymore. Not that you should actually use a whip. And I don't have kids, so I don't know that firsthand, but every movie and TV show that has a teenager in it cannot be mischaracterizing this. And the kids they don't listen to their parents, they turn their back on them, they walk out of the room, things that would just get me shut down.
Bill Maher notes that accountability should apply to everyone, including Trump's critics. He challenges Adam Schiff's refusal to acknowledge mistakes or exaggerations. Maher's calm tone exposes a double standard, demanding honesty from opponents while avoiding self-reflection damages trust and weakens the overall argument against Trump.
I respect the fact that you don't share my pessimism. I truly do. I understand where you're coming from. But I think that's part of the problem. I think the Democratic Party should share my pessimism. I think they should be on high alert. I think they need to treat him with the seriousness that it deserves, because you having a lot of faith in the American people. The man did get over 74 million votes. You've got people that are looking at Joe Biden. I'm not going to call him a cognitive mess or anything like that. That's very disrespectful. I would never speak about our president that way. But when you're 82 years of age, it's not offensive to say you're no longer a spring chicken and you don't seem to have.
Rather than attacking Schiff personally, Maher attacks the strategy. He explains that moral grandstanding doesn't win elections. Calmly, he points out that voters respond to results, not endless investigations. This critique quietly dismantles Schiff's approach, suggesting it may be emotionally satisfying but politically ineffective. Maher emphasizes that skepticism isn't betrayal. He defends the idea that questioning Adam Schiff doesn't mean defending Trump blindly. Calm reasoning replaces partisan noise, making Schiff's certainty look rigid and outdated. The clip shows how moderation and doubt can feel more honest than absolute political confidence.